Hello, very good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today is Saturday, 30th of April 2016. I am Edward Udedas Devasagayam Pillai with the highlights of today's English newspapers. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline of the Daily Mirror says, IMF agrees $1.5 billion bailout for Sri Lanka to avert BOP crisis. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has reached agreement with the government for a $1.5 billion bailout to help the island nation avert a balance of payments crisis. The 3-year loan will require IMF board approval in June, the global lender said on Friday, and is subject to Sri Lanka implementing reforms including streamlining the tax code and reducing a bloated deficit. The Sri Lankan authorities and the IMF have reached a staff-level agreement on a 36-month extended fund facility. Another highlight says, phone charges to rise due to VAT. Ministry contemplates data packages to mitigate impact. Smartphones for Samurthi recipients. Phone call charges would increase because of the removal of the exemption of value-added tax from telecommunication services. Minister of Digital Technology, Hirin Fernando, said yesterday. Minister Fernando told a media briefing that call charges could go high as a result of the recent decision to remove the exemption VAT, but concessionary packages including data packages and new technology will be introduced in the future so that the burden the people will have to bear will be reduced. And the headline says, Brazil trying to split SLFP, Dayasri. Former Economic Development Minister Basil Rajapaksa had been given a contract to divide the SLFP and weaken President Maithripala Sirisena, allegedly funded by a neighbouring country. Sports Minister Dayasri Jayasekara charged yesterday, asked whether it was a South Asian country. Minister Jayasekara did not deny it. Addressing the weekly SLFP news briefing at the party office, Minister Jayasekara said Mr. Rajapaksa, who deserted the SLFP and party supporters in the aftermath of the defeat at the presidential election in January 2015, fled the country and returned to face an inquiry against the conducted by the FCID. He is now on a contract to destroy the SLFP, he said. And the headline says, US will back Sri Lanka in time of reconstruction. Sri Lanka had taken swift strides in the aftermath of the conflict, and the US would be there with Sri Lanka when taking such steps, since it is not an easy task, US Permanent Representative to the UN Samantha Power assured on Thursday. Addressing a US-Sri Lanka Trade and Investment Framework Agreement Council meeting in Washington, she said that she had travelled to many places going through transition and change, many of which have gone through conflict. The release published on US mission to the UN said. She said that US President Barack Obama placed importance on relationship with Sri Lanka and that his commitment continues to support Maithripala Sirisena in his efforts to ensure that Sri Lanka delivered socio-economic benefits to the people of the country. With that, let's move to daily news. The main headline of the daily news says, IMF announces $1.5 billion loan, boost for country's reform agenda. Economic reforms to revive growth. And the highlight says, I backed MR as presidential candidate in 2005 polls. President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday said when Mahinda Rajapaksa was nominated as the presidential candidate in 2005, many party leaders did not support him. However, I did. President Sirisena said in Galle, I was behind him since the beginning until his success. 18 rallies, 17 parades to mark 130th Labour Day. Political parties and other organizations, including a number of trade unions, have made arrangements to hold 18 rallies and 17 parades island-wide to mark the 130th Labour Day. IPU Secretary General to visit on Speaker's invitation. The intended visit of Inter-Parliamentary Union Secretary General Martin Chungong to Sri Lanka is following an official invitation by Speaker Kari Jayasuriya and not due to any complaint by the UPFA rebel group. The media spokesman of the Speaker said the Speaker extended his invitation when he met the IPU Secretary General at the 134th IPU Assembly in March in Zambia. The spokesman refuted the claims by the joint opposition MPs that the IPU Secretary General's visit is related to their complaint lodged at the IPU in Geneva end of last month. Finally, let's move to Ceylon Today. The main headline of the Ceylon Today says, US hails Lanka's post-January 2015 growth. Ambassador Power says Lanka emerged as a global champion of democratic accountability. Sri Lanka has since January 2015 emerged as a global champion of human rights and democratic accountability, said Ambassador Samantha Power, US Permanent Representative to the United Nations, speaking at the United States Sri Lanka Trade and Investment Framework Agreement Council meeting. Another headline says, MR to get non-military security. Military security contingents allocated to man UPFA and SLFP Kurunagala District MP Mahinda Rajapaksa's security are to be recalled effective to May, when other security details will be accorded to the former president. SLFP's shake-up continues. Maitri to appoint 30 more organizers. The SLFP is planning to appoint shortly as many as another 30 new electoral organizers, having already sacked a few who have been organizers, SLFP sources revealed. It was also learned that some top SLFP MPs are planning to hold a crucial discussion about the impending changes with the party leadership on 2 May, the sources said. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan Newspaper Highlights.